Welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're out here with Arwen today. She's having a little bit of trouble walking because she just got up from a faint. I missed it on camera, but she got up from a faint. But I wanted to talk a little bit about free-ranging your goats because I get a lot of questions about it. I get a lot of people telling me, well, I'd love to free-range my goats, but every time I let them go outside the pen, they take off. And yeah, that's really, really common. Okay? Most of the time, if you let your goats out of your pen, they're going to take off. It's kind of what goats do. Even if they don't like take off, they tend to wander. They tend to wander quite a bit. Hi, baby. So they tend to just leave. They don't really stay in the yard very much. So for most people, free-ranging your goats is really not going to happen. When can you free-range your goats? Well, you might be able to free-range your goats if your entire property has a basic fence around it. Because if your goat has enough to do, they might not leave your property. Okay? If they have enough to do and it's just a basic fence it doesn't have to be a 4-foot goat-proof fence, but if it'll kind of keep them from wandering, it'll kind of just turn them around and they have enough space, you might be able to pull it off. So if you have, I would say, at least 4 acres fenced, at least, they probably will mostly stay around, but I mean, fencing's not true free ranging, but close enough. But we don't have a fence around our entire property, and she's out. So here's the thing with Arwen. And the only time I would recommend actually free-ranging your goat. We have had this girl since she was 3 weeks old. We got her mama Lily, and we got Arwen and her sister Sadie. Now, Sadie doesn't live with us because Sadie lives with my best friend. And we no longer have Lily because Lily did pass away. She was an elderly mama, and she lived quite a while. She was quite old when she passed. But we no longer have her, and Arwen is more than 2 years old now. So we've had Arwen since she was 3 weeks old. She was Tristan, my oldest son's baby. Okay, he would carry her around. Yes, she was still nursing off her mama. That's one of the reasons we had the mama. But she was Tristan's baby. He was cuddling her, snuggling her. You can't eat the rabbit food, you bum. That's the other downside with free-ranging your goats. They will get into everything. They're bums. So, she's a bum. She's going to do it anyway. She doesn't care. I put the lid on the grain. So there, you can't eat that. She doesn't really care. She's just going to do whatever she wants to do. But, yeah, we had her since she was 3 weeks old. And she really bonded to my son, Tristan. She really bonded to all of us. Ultimately, she really bonded to Shadowfax. Okay? Our miniature horse. Now, she won't go anywhere without him. Now, yes, I've had many videos where Shadowfax is running around the property. I don't even know where he is right now. Oh, he's on the other side of the trees. That's okay, I can see him. Yes, if you're wondering why the horse is out, it's because I let him out. For anyone concerned that they spend all their time locked in a pen, they do not. They spend hardly any time locked in a pen. Anyway, she won't go very far from Shadowfax. Now, she's over here because she wants to burst into the feed shed. But Shadowfax is just on the other side of the trees. What's he eating? He's eating sticks, whatever. He could eat grass, but he's eating sticks. Do not eat the rabbit food. But she won't go very far from Shadowfax. So as long as Shadowfax is around, she will be around. Now, she is out all of the time because we made that fence, the wood part. The wire part she can't get through, but the wire part just goes tree to tree. But the wood part, she can get under. We did that on purpose. Okay, she can go in and out of the fence, but Shadowfax can't. So we can contain Shadowfax when necessary. So if, for whatever reason, we don't want Shadowfax out, we lock him up in the pen, but she can still go in and out. She won't go anywhere without Shadowfax. Shadowfax won't leave the property without Tristan. So we don't have too much of a problem on that end. Do I recommend you free-ranging your goats? No. It's not that easy to do because they tend to just wander. So they'll go kind of from snack spot to snack spot. even if that snack spot is your neighbor's, and then maybe the next snack spot is the neighbor's beside them, and then before you know it, you have no idea where your goats are. Do not eat that. I haven't put the rabbit food in a container. And she's like, rabbits. So I generally do not recommend free-ranging your goats. Even though I do it, I don't always recommend everything I do, unless you are 100% confident your goat's not going anywhere. Because the worst thing you can do is free-range your goat, and then she gets into your neighbor's crops and destroys some crops, because you're actually liable for that. Especially if they're a commercial farmer, they've destroyed some of their money. And you're responsible. You're responsible for what your goat does while they're free-ranging. Even if they're not on your property, that goat is your responsibility. So generally, unless you are 100% confident that your goat will not leave your property, I do not recommend free-ranging. Now, we free-range her because she's a unique situation where she is so bonded to Tristan and so bonded to Shadowfax that she's not going anywhere. Hi, baby. Okay? So she's not going anywhere where Shadowfax and Tristan are not. So she won't leave. However, I would not free-range a goat that might take off. So we free-ranged her and we free-ranged Lily because Lily was quite elderly and wasn't going to run away anyway. We did not free-range my goat before that, Gandalf. Okay, Gandalf would have just left. He was about 5 months old when we got him. He just wasn't going to stay. So there was no way I would have free-ranged Gandalf. I would put him on a tie when he was in the yard just to make sure, hi, sweetheart, just to make sure he didn't leave. Good girl. Just my good goat. Yeah. So I do not free-range every goat I've ever had. And I do not necessarily recommend it, but I do get a lot of questions about free-ranging. If you are interested in free-ranging, you need to have enough space to keep your goat occupied, and you need a reason for them not to leave. So they have to be super bonded, okay? She is super bonded, but not all goats are. So in order to super bond them to you, you can't treat them like livestock, because there is a difference between the way we treat livestock and pets. I do it too. Something that is livestock to me, like the quail are livestock, they get less individual attention and are treated less like pets than the goat. The goat is a pet. Okay, she to us is not livestock, even though she fits the definition of livestock. To us, she's a pet. The quail are livestock. Okay, so it's not the same when you're treating them like livestock. It is very difficult to form that bond. But if you are able to form that intense bond with your goat, you might be able to free range. If you're not sure that they'll stay in your property, what I would do is get some of that snow fencing. You know, you can get it in green or orange or whatever, black, it doesn't matter. I would get it in a bright color that you can see and run it kind of where you don't want the goat and see if that kind of keeps her in. You can just kind of check it out, see if that works for you, because sometimes that works and sometimes it really doesn't. So that is something you should absolutely look into if you're interested in free ranging. Just put some snow fencing up, just staple it to trees or whatever, and see if that kind of keeps your goat in, if it'll kind of turn them back. If they challenge that fencing and constantly want to get through it, then you probably can't free range your goat because it's just not going to work out. If they respect it and kind of turn away, you very well might be okay. All right, you might be able to free range your goat. But you have to check, okay? You have to check your goat. You have to make sure they're not going to leave your property. Because remember, you're liable for whatever they do when they're not on your property. Anyway, that is about it for today. I am going to go grab Shadowfax and put everybody back because I want to go inside. It's getting windy. Anyway, that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. We'll see you tomorrow.